What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is Jesse, and I am ready to start our session. Actually, we're not going to start for about 15 minutes, so don't stress out. I jump on early to give everybody a chance to get on here and join us. So bear with me while I find our Facebook feed. Hopefully everybody's doing fantastic today. I know that I am. Hope you guys are all ready to draw and paint a cute little sloth. All right, there's our feed. Give me a second. Lisa Houston, how's it going? Good, okay. You're painting later. Sounds good. What's happening, Catherine Vogel? Welcome, Lynn Mark Brabant from Leveque, Ontario. What's happening over in Ontario, Canada? Rebecca Jensen, hello to you. How's it going, guys? Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up. Fantastic. Okay, everyone. Gotta lower that volume. I always forget to lower my volume on my feed. Also, let me turn down my music a little bit. I feel like I'm having to shout. Just a little bit. We'll turn that up back when we get going. What's happening, Amy Dampier? Bailey Strong from Bell River, Ontario, Canada. Canada is in the house today. Lots of folks from Canada tuning in, so absolutely welcome. Christy Taylor, hey to you. Carolyn General says, hello, my niece is excited. She loves sloths. Awesome. Fantastic, Carolyn. So, we're on here a little early. Plenty of time. I like to jump on early to give people a chance to find the feed. A lot of times people have a little bit of a tricky time locating the Facebook feed, so it's exactly partly why I come on early. Also, I come on just to kind of chat, say hello to some of you. So that's what we're here for today. Beware of the scammers. I already see a couple in the, let's see, ban from page, ban from stream, and delete the comment. All right, second spammer on the feed that I deleted today. Jesse 2, spammers 0. Okay, beware of those spammers. Spammers like to jump on here and post links in the comment section. They're trying to get you guys to go to different websites to try to steal your personal information. Do not click on those, okay? Only click on links that I provide in the comment section. I do have a description for the video at the top, or somewhere on your screen you'll see a description of today's video. There is a link for my Linktree site. What that is basically, it's a little website, little app, not an app, it's actually web-based. You click on that, it'll take you to it'll show you all the websites, all my social media platforms, etc. that I'm currently on. It's something new. I just added that last night. Helps you guys find me on Instagram, on YouTube, of course here on Facebook. There's also a link at the top that if you click on, it'll take you to the video library here on Facebook of all of our previous sessions. A lot of the stuff that you see behind me is there. A lot of kids sessions. We have over about 66 videos currently on there. So if you guys are interested in checking out some of the old sessions, you'll click on that link. Again, it's in the description of the video. It says Linktree, Painting with Jesse. You click on that and it'll take you, you'll see all of that. At the top is that link, or that button where you can click on it. It'll take you to all of my previous videos. So if you guys are excited about that, go check that out. You don't have to do it now, do it after the video's over. And then yes, I like to always repeat this a few times because people ask this. This is the most asked question throughout the feed, throughout the comments, or throughout the session. The most asked question is, will this video be recorded so we can watch later? And the answer is absolutely yes. You will find this video on the live tab of the main Painting with Jesse page here on Facebook, Painting with Jesse. You'll go to the very top, there's a little tab that says live. You click on that and you're going to see all of that video library, including this sloth video. As soon as it's over, I hit the save button. It goes and lives there at least for a month, let's say. Eventually I might take it down or move the videos somewhere else. I'm not sure yet. Currently all the videos live on Facebook. So instead of going and looking for that live tab, another way you can do it is on the description of this video. Like I said, I put down that link to my Linktree. When you open that up and click on that, it opens up a page. At the very top, it'll say something like Facebook Live Sessions Recordings, something like that. If you click on that, you'll see all of that. Anyway, enough of that. I'll repeat that again later on, so no big deal. Let's see who else is on with us. Catherine Bogle, what's happening, Catherine? Lynn Mark, I've already said hi to Lynn, I think. Lynn Mark Brabant. Hello, let me scroll down here. It looks like, oh, another scammer. Let's get rid of that guy if I can. He might be gone. He or she, not sure. Remember, folks, avoid those scammers. Those links in the comment section that talk about watching the video, the live session of this video. Obviously, you're on here now. You don't click on any of those links. Leave those alone. Those are just bad news. So I just want to keep repeating that. I repeat it all the time so you guys are aware. Lynn Locke from London. What's happening, Lynn? Okay. I know it's a little late. I gotcha. Okay, cool. Come on back whenever you're ready. The video is going to be waiting for you, okay? So, yeah, absolutely. Come on back. Lindsay Swayze, how are you? Let's see. Awesome, Gene Platt. Thank you so much for that comment. I absolutely love it. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you. Natalia, I'm going to try your last name. Sigankova, Natalia Sigankova from Toronto, Canada. What's happening? Welcome. Addie from Toronto. Wow, a bunch of Canadians on here today. Fantastic. You guys are always showing a lot of support, and I really, really appreciate it. So welcome to all of you guys. And of course, got a bunch of people from the United States, where I'm from, California, and all over, states all throughout. Welcome to everyone that's on here today. Again, we're not officially started. We won't be starting until right at 2 o'clock my time. It's about 8 minutes away, so whatever that time translates to you, that's when we're going to get started. All right, Francine Scalabrino from Florida. Fantastic. Welcome, Francine. Thank you for being here. Donna Baker. Hi, Donna. How are you? Welcome back. Ginger Byers. Lydia, 6 years old, is excited, is what Ginger says. Hi, Lydia. Guys, if any of you out there, any of you kiddos that are painting along are celebrating birthdays, please make sure you put it in the comments. Say, hey, this is so-and-so, and I'm turning so-and-so years old today, so we can all say happy birthday to you, okay? I'm going to try to keep up with the comments. It's a little hard to do so, especially once I get to painting. It's hard for me to be able to paint and see all the comments come through, but if you push your comment in there, other people can say happy birthday. If I see it, I'll be sure to say happy birthday and give you a shout out on our session here today, okay? So again, if you guys are celebrating your birthday, please make sure you put it down in the comments. Lisa Resner, how's it going? What's up, Megan Markham from Canada? Let's say hi to Megan Markham, Canada. I'm not sure if you're telling me you're from Canada and Megan and Markham are painting with you. I think that's what you're saying. But hi to you guys. Welcome today. Dina Blaney, what's happening? And then we got Vanette Baker from Georgia. All right. The United States, it's making its appearance. Fantastic. Hi, everybody. Vanessa Rodriguez, what's up? And let's see, Tammy Lee from North Carolina, kid who is a huge sloth fan. Welcome to you guys. All right, all right. So, a couple things, folks. I want to talk about really quickly right before we get started. We got a few minutes, but I'll talk about this when we get moving. But this coming Thursday, we're going to be doing this really cute pair of giraffes. Okay, if you guys haven't seen this yet, it's on the live tab. If you guys go to the event page here on Painting with Jesse, you're going to see this, the details for this really cute painting. This is an all ages thing. This one's going to be a lot longer than today's. I'm teaching you guys how to draw and how to paint everything from scratch. I do have stencils available. If you go over to that event tab, click on the event, you'll see all the details for this. Okay, kind of like today's, I provided a stencil for it. Same thing with this. This is this coming Thursday. I believe it's 3 o'clock my time, California time, whatever that translates to wherever you are. Okay, if you guys haven't seen this yet, please go check that out. I'll be happy to have all of you guys that are on here today hanging out with us. Then, pretty much everything that's back here we've done in the past. These videos are all available, but let's talk about some kids sessions you guys might be interested in. These are just a few of the different paintings we've done over the past weeks. We got Baby Yoda or Grogu. This video is still available. This is a lot more complicated, a lot more complex, a lot more time involved in that, but you guys can go check that out if you guys are interested. We do have A Nightmare Before Christmas with Jack and Zero. Okay, that's also, if you guys go look for that live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page, you're going to find these. We have a cute little panda also. Now, all of these, I teach you guys how to draw everything from scratch. The little panda doesn't have a stencil, neither does Jack or Zero, but Baby Yoda does. Again, if you guys are interested in those, and there's a whole bunch of others, probably about 30 themes on that live tab that you guys can go check out. About 30 kids themes on that live tab, and then there's about 35 that are a lot more complicated, more complex, but they are open to everybody. Sarah Dean from Ohio, what's happening, Sarah? Allison Owen, what's happening? David Bosworth, what's happening, David? So let's see. What else, guys? What else do we got today? All right, another scammer. Let's see if I can get rid of that guy. Scammer in the mix. Again, folks, don't click on those scammers' links. All of those that say pastelink.net, anything that you see, there's one in the comments at the very, very bottom. Pastelink.net, do not click on those. Those are scammers trying to steal your identity, your credit card info, or whatever else, I don't know, but stay away from those. Carl from Pennsylvania, what's happening, Carl? Welcome. Serena's birthday. Happy birthday, Serena. Hope you're ready to have a good time today. I know that I am. Let's see. Somebody is saying it was my best friend's birthday. Her name is Raina. She is 8. She loves art. Can she get a shout out? Happy birthday, 8-year-old Raina. Happy birthday to you. So anyway, folks. Oh, let's see here. Carl from Pennsylvania. I think I already said hello to Carl. Let's see. Leanna and Grammy. What's happening, Leanna and Grammy? Welcome. So, again, folks, as I was mentioning, all those other pictures and paintings that I just showed you, those are available on the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page, along with a whole bunch of others, so you guys can go check those out, okay? Let's see, Emandeep, 10 years old, from Pittsburgh, California. Welcome, Emandeep. Hello and welcome, Elise from Ontario. What's happening, Elise? Let's see, Callie. Hello from Callie. Hi, Callie. Welcome, welcome. Whole bunch of people on here today. If you guys are new here, if this is your first time hanging out, please be sure to like the Painting with Jesse page. I've also recently started posting a lot of stuff over to YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel by the same name, Painting with Jesse. I'm also on Instagram, but Facebook and YouTube are where the lives, well, currently only Facebook has the lives, but starting next week, starting next Tuesday, I'm going to be doing the lives on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And next Tuesday, speaking of which, our very first YouTube session is going to be this one. We're doing this on Facebook and on YouTube. All of you Among Us fans, okay, be ready for this. This is next Tuesday. I teach you how to draw and paint everything from scratch. I do provide a stencil for both of our little Among Us crewmates, but you guys will have to go find those under the event tab here on the Painting with Jesse page. Go to the event tab, scroll down, and you'll see this is next Tuesday. Okay, so check that out and come on out and join me, because we're going to be having some fun with that. All right, folks, we're about a minute away, so let me say hello to a few more of you. Alexa, hi Alexa, what's happening? Jordan with his friends, or her friends, Mackenzie, Charlie, and Kyle. What's happening, Jordan and friends? Let's see. Jackie Kern says hello from Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte from Toronto. Hi, Charlotte. How's it going? Isa Aguilar. What's happening, Isa? How are you today? Yes, I typically draw first. Somebody just asked a question. They said, do you always draw first and then paint? Not always. It just depends. Sometimes I'll paint the background first. We'll do the background first, and then we draw over that, and then we paint some more. Today we're going to draw first, then we're going to paint our background, and then we're going to paint our drawing, okay? All right, everybody. It is that time. It's 2 o'clock. Once again, my name is Jesse, and I want to thank all of you guys for being here with me today. Hope you guys are already having a good time, because I am. What are we making today? Well, you guys already know. That's why you're here. We're going to be making this really cute little sloth. I named him Molasses. You can name your little sloth whatever you want. I'm going to be teaching you how to draw this completely from scratch. We are going to be drawing and painting. We paint after I draw. After we draw it, we paint it. We're probably going to be doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes approximately. If you can't stay the whole time, or you can't do it right now, the recorded session, will be available immediately after the live session's over. As soon as the live session's over, I hit the save button and the video goes and lives under the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page. So you guys be sure to go look for that. Again, if you guys can't join me here today. If you happen to fall behind, let's say you're drawing along with me, painting along with me, and you start to fall too far behind, same thing. Don't worry about it. The video is available for you to watch afterwards. Okay? So all right, I'm going to be drawing on an 11 by 14 inch canvas. Basically the same size that you see here. When we get started, I'm going to bring the canvas on an easel and place it on the table. I bring the camera in really close so you see all the details to everything that I'm doing. Okay, I've got my paints laid out on my plate here. I've got some white. I'm using acrylic paints. Whatever you guys have, that's what you'll use, whether you're using colored pencils, markers, watercolors, etc. But I've got white paint. I've got a green paint. I've got a brown paint. Now the brown paint I'm going to be mixing with white to lighten it up to make the colors for the sloth's fur. Okay, and then I've got some black. I'll be using this to outline, maybe make some gray. Okay, but those are primarily the colors that I'm using. Oh, and my light blue, which I'm going to be mixing with white to make an even lighter blue for the background. You guys can use whatever colors you want. If you want to change things up on your painting, it's absolutely perfectly fine. If you don't have the same colors that I have, use what you have. Work with what you have. Okay, I've also got a roll of paper towels. Things can get messy sometimes, so I always have one of those handy. Okay, I've got a set of brushes over here. I'll give you guys a close-up of my brushes when we get started. Because I'm working with acrylic paint, I have a water cup where my brushes sit inside in that water throughout the entire process. It's very important that you don't allow your brushes, the paint on the brushes, to dry because it'll ruin your brushes. Okay, if you're new to acrylic painting, this is what you want to have. You want to have a water cup. Your brushes are going to be sitting inside. Next thing you want to have is something to draw with. You can use a stick of chalk. Okay, you can use a watercolor pencil, or you can use a regular pencil like I'm going to be using today. You're going to need an eraser because we're going to be doing a little bit of erasing throughout. Okay, so those are the basic supplies. Something to draw on or paint on. I'm using a canvas, brushes, some paint, and something to draw with. I've got an apron, of course, to protect my clothes, and I got some gloves on just to keep from getting so messy. And then, of course, we've got our paper towels. So, let's get going, everybody. We're going to get moving here pretty quickly. Like I said earlier, we start with the drawing process. Now, I'm going to be monitoring the feed, the comments section, as we're working through our session. Okay? In between steps, as I do a step on the canvas, I give you guys a little time to do the step on your end. In between steps, while I'm giving you guys time to do the steps on your end, I look at the comments section and answer your questions, say hello, all that good stuff. But if I'm drawing or painting, I'm not always looking at your comments, so I might miss some of your questions, etc. If that happens, don't worry. I'll let you guys know when I'm looking at the comment section so you guys can ask your questions again. Now, for those of you that have been painting with me for a while, you guys will know a lot of the answers to some of the questions that are going to come up. You guys might know the answers to some of the questions that will come up. Please, if you can, if you see a question that you know the answer to, go ahead and help out and answer if you could. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to lower my camera here a bit. Just making some little adjustments before we get moving. But yes, so if you know the answer to a question, please help out. Answer the question for people. Again, if you've been painting with me for a while, I'm going to give you guys a nice close-up of everything that I do so that you see exactly what I'm doing. And like I said, we're going to start with the drawing part of this first. I'm going to be using a regular pencil, as I've already mentioned, but you can use chalk, you can use watercolors, you can use watercolor pencils, you can use pretty much anything as long as you can draw. I would definitely recommend that you have something that you can erase though. Okay, you don't want to do this in pen. But all right, let me take a look one more time at the comments section. Somebody's asking, David is asking, what's your sloth's name? My little sloth's name is Molasses. Because Molasses moves really slow, right? Like all sloths do. So his name is Molasses. But again, your little sloth can be whatever you want his or her name to be. Okay, so you guys might want to think about a good name for your sloth. Okay, and maybe later when we're finishing up, you'll put your sloth's name in the comments section. But all right, just making a final adjustment here to my lighting. Make sure we got everything, and here we go. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing this in pencil. Hang on one second, guys. Kelly Barecki says, are you going to be doing a class on painting the goat picture that's behind you? Kelly, so that video is actually already up. We did that a few months ago, but you can go back and watch the recorded session of that and paint along with that. If you look on the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page here on Facebook, it's at the very top. You'll click on that, scroll back a few weeks, and you'll see his name. That goat's name is Vincent Van Goat. Okay, so there's that. Diane Kroon from Curaçao. How's it going? How are you? All right, here we go, folks. Let's get on with this. Like I said, we're going to be doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So I just want everybody to look at Molasses' little head right here. It's like a little oval shape. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. What you want to do is you don't want to make it too large, because if you make it really, really large, you're not going to leave enough space for the rest of the body. Just make sure that whatever size you make that head, you're leaving enough space for Molasses' body. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to start really lightly at first, but then I'm going to darken it up so you guys can all see what I've got. And also I'll be giving you guys close-ups and things like that. If you guys have your stencil, you want to go and start tracing it out. If you haven't, if you've got your stencil already on the canvas, fantastic. If not, go ahead and do it now. Okay, so a nice little oval, and watch what I'm doing here. Really lightly, I'm just going around a few times until I get the shape right. Okay, once I've got the shape that I want, I'll come in here and do a little bit of erasing. That's why I keep my pencil lines really light. Okay, I sketch everything in really lightly so that I can erase and make corrections easily. Okay, once I've got the shape that I want, I can go ahead and make, or close to the shape that I want, I'll make corrections, and then I darken up the lines that I want. Okay, there we go. So we got a little oval here. I'm not adding in the hair just yet. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? At the very top of our little sloth's head, I've got 3 little hairs that stick out like that, or bits of his fur. I'm going to give you guys about a minute or 2 to do this. So again, folks, just be aware that you've got her or his or her, depending on what your sloth is. You have the body to add over here. Now I can already tell I made my head on my new Molasses a little bit larger. That's okay. They're all going to be different sizes. Your sloth is going to be a little different than mine. It's going to be different if you're painting with somebody else next to you. Both of yours are going to be a little different, so do not worry. Your sloth can have a bigger head, a smaller head, a larger body, long arms, short arms. It's all okay. That's part of the fun. Okay, so here we go. We got the head in place. What we're going to do now, we're going to draw this line right here. This line for the body comes out from the head about right in here, goes up, curves over and down. Okay, so we're going to go like this right now. We're going to draw this long curved line. So what you can do, so that you don't go too far over to your edge, maybe you're just going to block off. You're going to do this. Okay, this right here is the back part of our little sloth's body. Okay, or this part, the torso part, comes over. I'm just starting from this side. I can start from this side if I want. I know that the head is, or sorry, the body starts right here on this part of the head. So I'm just gonna draw a little line right there. I'm gonna bring this up and over like this, curls back down, and connects right there. Okay. Now take a little step back and look at your drawing. Okay, you might have to make little adjustments. Like I can already tell this is a little higher than what I want, but because I'm drawing nice and lightly, it's easy for me to erase. Okay, so now I'm just going to come over Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Now let me darken this up a bit so you guys can all see this a little, make it easier for you guys to see this, okay? Sounds good. Aaron DeBalo says, I'm freehanding it. I don't have a printer. No worries. Fantastic. It's kind of cool. Those of you that are using the stencil, all good. If you're freehanding it with me, very cool. You're challenging yourselves. It forces your brain to adjust. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Hope that a lot of you guys take the opportunity to try to freehand. What's happening, Natalia? I'm looking over the comments, guys. Hi, Natalia. Moni Hernandez Garcia. What's happening, Moni? V Hong. What's happening? How are you? All right, looking over at the comments. Hi, Melissa Moore. It's going fantastic, Natalia. Thank you for asking. Hi, Gretchen, Emma, and Avery. How are you? Thank you for joining me today. Hope you're having a good time. All right, here we go. Back to the drawing. So we're not going to be doing anything with the branch till after the sloth is for the most part done, okay? So, but what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this little leg. This leg comes down, curves down a bit. Somewhere down here is where it ends, okay? So just going to bring this down. We continue this curve, okay? And again, everybody's sloth's legs are going to be different sizes. Don't worry about it too much. Right down here, I'm just going to curl it over like this, curve it over. We're going to eventually have nails coming out of here, but for now, we're not worried about that. Then we're going to bring this up. Remember, folks, keep your pencil lines, or chalk lines, etc., nice and light, so you can easily erase if you have to. Nothing wrong with erasing. Some people don't like to erase, but it's all part of the progress, the process. Okay? So this right here is right here. Okay? So here's a couple of things. You don't want this to go too high up. If you look at the bottom of my sloth's little head, this part right here, if I draw a line across like this, look at that. If I do this with my hand, this is quite a bit lower. So you want to do this. Okay, if I draw a line like this, this is a little too high. So now I'm just going to make a little adjustment. I'm going to bring that down quite a bit. There we go. Now if I draw a line across like this, an imaginary line, I know I'm okay. All right? So again, what you want to do is just look at the original. If I was to draw a line across like this line does not touch the two lines. This line would not touch my imaginary line. So I do the same thing on what I'm drawing right now, right? So I want this to be a little further than my imaginary line would be, okay? Like what I've got right here. So here we go. Let's continue. We're not worried about this leg for now. I'm going to do this right in here. The little belly part, our sloth, is going to come over, curves up a little, kind of like this. Light lines, don't forget. Don't do dark lines, because dark lines are hard to erase. So this right here is our little sloth's belly. Okay, and again, you don't want to get too close to the body, so just kind of watch it. I'm cleaning mine up a little bit, erasing it and bringing it back. I take a little step back, and I like the line that I made, so let's make it a little darker. All right. Take a look at your sloth. You guys got about a minute before we move on to that next step. What's happening, Lucas, Jaden, and Jonathan? Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you're all enjoying painting molasses today. Again, everybody's going to get to name their sloth something different. And later on, as we're getting close to finish, I'm going to ask you guys to put your names in the comment section. Hi, Haley, 7-year-old sloth lover and first-time painter. Hi, Haley. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And again, folks, I'm looking over the comment section right now in case you guys didn't notice. So you guys got about 30 seconds and then we're moving on. I believe I said hi to Gretchen, Emma, and Avery, but just in case, I'm saying hi once again. I'm going to turn up my music here. I'm using copyright-free music from Facebook. Whoops, too loud, too loud. If I go too loud, you guys won't be able to hear me. All right. Okay, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Hi, Morgan. Evie, 11 years old, painting with me once again. Fantastic, Evie. Hi, Mandy Alsop. Hi, Abby. How's it going? Mackenzie, 7 years old, and this is her first time painting with me. Awesome, Mackenzie. Thank you for being here. Harper, 7, in Chile, Wisconsin. Fantastic. Lots of first-timers. Lots of first-timers on here today. All right, folks, here we go. So let's take a look. Those of you that have your stencils, it all depends on how much you traced of the outline that you guys received from me, the PDF file or the image that you downloaded. So depending on how you sketched out, I know some of you guys cut out the stencil and then you put it on your canvas and trace it. Some of you use carbon paper, carbon copy paper, lay the image on top of your canvas or paper and you trace it out. Whatever method you use, depending on how much you actually traced out, obviously anything that you're missing from your trace, you're going to be adding as I added, okay? So it's kind of up to you to gauge and look at and then add if you don't have it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the little leg, this leg right in here, okay? Or arm. I'm not sure what you'd call it on a sloth, leg or arm, I'm not sure. But right here, right in here, we're going to have a little line that curves out. We're drawing this part right here. Okay, so this little line curves out, comes down to about here. And watch how I'm holding my pencil, folks. Nice and loose, nice and light. I can also bring it forward, hold it closer to the tip, closer to where the lead part is, or the graphite part. It's not lead anymore. Okay. Drop down right there. We curve this over also. Curve it a little bit. Again, we're going to have nails there just like on the original. But then this goes back, goes up, over, and back. Okay, something like that. And this is probably a little too thin than what I want, so I'm just going to erase it and do it again. Nothing wrong with erasing, nothing wrong with making corrections. It is all part of the process. There we go. Again, some people really don't like to erase because it leaves smudges and stuff, and some people because they think somehow they made, they're not doing well because they erased. Look at me. I've been drawing since I was really, really young. I draw people, I draw animals, I draw all kinds of stuff. And here I am erasing. It's all normal, okay? Don't stress yourselves out by thinking that you have to have every line perfect the first time you put it on the canvas. Not at all, or on your drawing paper. All right, here we go, let's continue. This is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna draw the bottom part of this branch. This long branch that comes over underneath. We're going to draw that now. The reason why we're drawing that first before we draw the other arms, before we draw the other legs, is because it sits in the front. This line sits in the front of this arm, or this leg, and this leg. Okay? So what I'm going to do is this, right down in here. Watch what I'm doing. Really close to the face. I'm going to draw a line that comes out, kind of does this. Watch your angle though. You don't want to make it really angled like this. You want a line that kind of hugs as close to the body as this one is here. Okay? So I start like this. Again, keep your pencil line nice and light. We're going to come like this, underneath. Comes out like this. Goes behind this leg. Comes out on the other side. Mine disappears over here to on the left edge of my canvas. Now I'll take it from here and it goes up to the other edge. Okay, just like that. All right, now we're going to do this top line. Now if you notice, this line comes down and connects somewhere over here, right in here. So I can work my way back from here, like this, up, and it gets wider as it goes that way, right? It gets a little bit wider as it goes over to the edge, and it gets skinnier on this side. Skinny, wide. So from here, I'm just going to open it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be super wide. As long as you're a little bit wider on that end, it'll be okay. Now you have to imagine this comes in like this. Actually, I'm going to make an adjustment. Let me make a little adjustment. I'm going to make mine a little bit bigger, a little bit larger. It goes like this. Okay? Now, you have to imagine this line goes through here like this, comes through here like this, comes out on the other end over here somewhere, and nice and skinny still. Okay? Gets narrow over here. Now this one's skinnier over here than this is, but I'm okay with this. I can make an adjustment if I want and change it, but I'm all right with this. Okay? All you need to worry about is that this line's, you imagine this line comes down right here, and then you imagine that it goes behind our sloth, comes across like this, and comes out over here somewhere. Okay? Now that we've got both of those lines, this is our branch, we can draw our other legs. So we'll come over here on the other side. I guess these are arms. Yeah, these are arms and these are legs. We'll go with that. But right in here, little line that curves down, curves back up, and of course you can't see the rest of it because it's behind our branch. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody. We're going to come over here and do the same thing. Now if you notice, between these two legs there's a little tiny bit of separation. Little tiny right there. You can barely see the sky behind it. Don't worry about it too much. Just give it a little bit of a separation between this line here and the new line we're about to make. Comes out, curves back up, and up it goes. Where does it go? Behind the branch. We can't see the rest of it because it's behind the branch. Okay? You guys got about a minute to work on that. We're getting there. I anticipate we're going to be painting in about 15 minutes or less. We got to draw the face. We got to draw in some leaves, and then we're good to start painting. All right, I'm looking over at the comments. Liam and Dylan from Pennsylvania. How's it going, guys? And then let's see who's on here. Nicholas and Zuri. They love sloths. And I believe it's their mom, Lori Ann Chavarria, that's saying that. Awesome. What's happening, Dana? It's Madison, Luskville, Quebec. How's it going, Madison? Hope you are enjoying today. Yep. That's right, Jessica Olson. You can watch this later. Again, folks, just want to make sure you guys all know that this video is being recorded and it will be available immediately after the live session's over. I hit the save button and you'll find it under the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page here on Facebook. Also, in the description of this video, wherever you see the description of the video, you might see it in the comments section at the top or at the bottom. There's a link for my Linktree. I have a new Linktree account. If you guys click on that link, don't do it now. You would do it later. It'll take you to all of my current social media platforms. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook, of course. I'm on Instagram. If you click on that link, it'll take you where you can see everywhere that my videos are available or my content is available. Okay? So if you click on that link, it'll also at the very top of that link or that page that opens up, you're going to see the tab for the videos, all the recorded videos that we have here on Facebook. You click on that and it'll take you and you'll see all that entire library. All right. Enough talk. Let's get back to our sloth. What we're going to do now is this. We're going to draw this outside part of the face, right? This looks almost like a little heart shape here on top. And that little peak, this little point right here, somewhere over here. It's not in the middle. It's a little over right of the middle. So if the middle of the face, if you were to draw a line like this, the middle's about right here. You're going to come over a little tiny bit to the right. Okay, and that's what I'm going to start with. That little point is here. This little point right there is that little dot. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to curve it, kind of like we're drawing a heart. Okay, so we're doing this, curves out towards the edge of the face. Then I'll do the same thing the other way. Little heart. Now this side's a little larger, a little longer, and then we're going to go all the way around the face. Here at the bottom, if you notice here at the bottom, it gets really close, really skinny. So this brown part is thicker, is whiter all the way around, and whitest at the top of the head, And as you come around, it gets really skinny, especially down here. That's kind of what we're shooting for. So when I come down here like this, I get really close to the outline of the face, of the actual head. And then as I start coming across over to the other side, I start opening it back up. So once again, all this in here is wider, and then it gets really narrow right here. Make any corrections that you have to, like right there, I'm just gonna make a quick correction with my pencil, with my eraser, and then draw it back in. Okay? And here we go. Next step. What's next? Well, we're gonna do the eyes first. We have these two little eyes. They're almost circles. They're almost like little, they're almost like a combination of an oval and a circle. So if you find a spot, like let's say up in here, you come down a little bit, you draw your little circle. And this is all gonna be black, right? Just like, at least mine is. Yours can have whatever color eyes you'd like, blue, green, light brown, yellow, whatever the case might be for your sloth. But mine are going to be black. So here's one eye. I'm going to come over to the right a little bit. Here's my other eye. And if your eyes are a little closer together than mine or a little further apart, that's okay. That just means your little sloth is going to look a little different than mine. Everybody's sloth is going to be unique. Okay, different colors, different shapes, and it's all going to be perfect. From here, once I've got the two little eyes in place, I'm going to draw this dark part around the eyes. Starting right in here, I can kind of curve back like this. And then I do the same thing underneath, come around my eye and back, and then it opens up a little bit as I come over to the side of the head. We'll do the same thing on the other side. You guys are going to get a couple minutes here in a moment to do all of this. I'm just kind of going through this kind of quickly, I know. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Once you see me do it, you kind of get the idea. Okay, comes down, all around. Now, this part right here opens up just a little bit more here than here. Here it's a little bit narrower. Here it's a little bit wider. It's not that critical. Whatever you get will be okay. Okay, work on that for just a little bit, maybe a minute, minute and a half. And then we're going to do the nose and we're going to do the mouth. All right, Jennifer, oh, I see somebody saying, let's see, we got some sloth names already. Let's see. I see some sloth names. What are they? Where'd that comment go? Cloud, Sparkles, Sunny, and Clyde. Those are some cool names right there. How's it going, Sue? Sue Cripe, welcome back. Guadalupe Garcia, hi from Oregon. My 10-year-old is enjoying this. Hi, Guadalupe, welcome. Nina and Ariana from Rhode Island. What's happening, Nina? What's happening, Ariana? Happy birthday, Brooke. Brooke, how old is Brooke today, Baltazar? How old is Brooke? Anyway, hi to Brooke, everyone. We got some birthdays. Again, put your birthdays in the comment section so we can say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Brooke. Let's see, Seth in the UK. How's it going, Seth? Oh, Seth is your sloth in the UK. Fantastic. Graham Cracker is another good sloth name. I like it. Fantastic. 9. Okay. So we got Brooke, who's 9 years old today. Happy birthday, 9-year-old Brooke. Everybody say happy birthday to Brooke, please. All right, here we go. Let's look at the nose. Okay? Little nose can be pretty much any shape. Your nose could be round. Your nose could be more square. It's entirely up to you. My nose looks a little bit kind of like we're going to do a triangle. It's got the base right here, and it's got two sides. It kind of goes up into a little point. But the corners, we don't have points. Everything's rounded. So just imagine we had a nice little round point up on top. Comes down on both sides, kind of wide nose. Curve it over on both sides, and they meet in the middle. Okay, so again, kind of like we're going to do a triangle, but the corners are all rounded out, and it's a wide triangle, right? Kind of a squat triangle, if you can imagine that. Once we do that, we got the mouth, nice curved line that goes like this, and then we got these little the little edges of the mouth, little lines that go like this. Okay? Let me give you guys a close-up of my sloth. The only thing we've got left is the fur. Okay, I'm not going to do the fur now. We're going to do that after we paint. Okay, so the fur and then the nails also. I'm not going to bother with the nails or the fur till afterwards. Okay, but there's a little close-up of mine. We've got to do some leaves here in a moment. But take a look at your sloth. You guys got about a minute, and we're going to start adding some leaves. And the leaves are going to be pretty easy. And then we move into our painting. All right. Gumdrop. I see a gumdrop. Let's see, Hudson and I say hello. Oh, Jamie Lynn McPhee says Hudson and I say hello from Ontario. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Hudson. You got it, Baltazar. My pleasure. Louise P. Yep. Get your paint supplies and come on back whenever you're ready. Yoda's your sloth name, huh, Hannah? Awesome. Let's see, Caitlin. I just had a birthday and I am 10 year old. I think Caitlin is probably your mom's name, but whoever's using Caitlin Marshall's account, happy birthday to you. 10 years old. Coco and Lily. Those are good. Some good sloth names. I like those. I like those. Janvi from New Jersey. Hi, Janvi. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look at these leaves. Leaves. Your painting can have as many leaves as you'd like, but I'm going to do a few. Nothing fancy. I'm going to start with this one over here. Right over on this edge. First, you know what? In this line, I'm not going to worry about the stems for now. These little long parts, I'm not going to worry about the stems. I'm just going to draw my leaf part, the main part of the leaf. We'll add the stems in after we painted the background. But here's my first one. Nice little curved line that goes like this. Got another one down here. Curves over. Okay? And then down the middle, we're just going to draw a little line. Again, I'm not doing the stems. I'll do those later. We put the stems in, we're going to cover them up with background, with paint when we do the background, so let's not worry about those stems. Let's make it easy on ourselves. Got another one over here. It just looks like it's floating, but again, we'll add in the stem later. Now watch what I do. I take my hand, I put it right on the canvas, okay? And even though I'm touching my drawing and I'm moving I'm smudging some stuff around, I'm not worried about it because we're going to be painting over everything, right? So, right over here, watch, I put my hand right up on the canvas. And what I do, this allows my hand, it stabilizes my hand. Okay, so right here, curve, down, okay? Other side, curve. And remember, everybody's leaves are going to look different, just like everything else on here. Don't worry if your leaves are skinny and long or short and wide or round or they're too pointy or whatever. As long as they kind of look like leaves, you're going to be all right. Another line like this. Line goes back. Okay? You can do a little line in the middle. Line in the middle. Okay? And again, we'll connect those later. Okay? So don't worry about it too much. We're going to have another one right here. Floating. Again, it's floating underneath for now. Little one. I have one over here. Okay? As many leaves as you want. It's your painting. Your drawing and your painting. We'll have another one over here. And then I'll add two up here. So mine's looking kind of like the original, right? But I can change it if I want. And so can you. I'm going to ask, for those of you that are new here, you guys don't know this. All of you that have been painting with me in the past, you know that I ask you guys to send me pictures of your paintings. Okay, when you guys are all done. For those of you that are under 18, underage, do not send me anything. Don't send me any pictures until you check with your parents first. But I would like, for those of you that are hanging out, painting with me today, when you're all done, the very, very end, whether you finish today or tomorrow or the next day, take a picture of your painting and send it to me by a messenger here on Painting with Jesse. Okay? So again, take a picture. You can take a picture, or your parents can take a picture of you holding your painting, or just of your painting itself. Send it over to me. And I know there's some adults that are painting with us today, so you guys can take a picture of yourselves and your kiddos, or just yourselves. I know this is good practice for all ages, especially if you're practicing your drawing skills. It's really good practice. Also, maybe you're doing this as a gift for somebody, right? For somebody's child, etc. For a nursery. Some adults might be hanging out drawing this, painting with us today because you're doing this for a project for something. Please, if you can, send me a picture of your masterpieces. I like to take them all in bulk, and then I do a really large post where I share all the paintings with everyone on Facebook. Okay? So I would greatly appreciate that. And again, you'd send it to me on Facebook, on Painting with Jesse, on the Messenger on Facebook. All right, everyone. All right. Take a look at your sloth. Take a little step back, look at it from a distance, see what you've got. What we're going to do is start our little painting. Okay, now I'm going to paint the background first. I don't have to. For those of you who might have this question, I could paint the sloth first, the leaves first, and then come in and paint the background. But for this one today, I'm going to go ahead and paint in my background first. I've got this really light blue. I'm going to mix it with some white to make a really, really light blue. Now the background today is going to look a little different than this one. On this one, I painted in my background first, and then I drew the sloth over the background. The reason why I'm not doing that today is because sometimes some people will have a difficult time seeing my pencil lines through my paint. If I paint the background first and then I draw over it, sometimes it's a little difficult. But it's okay. Either one works. The backgrounds end up looking a little bit different, but that's okay. Either method works. Let me grab another plate. Give me 1 second. So I've got a separate plate here. I put my paints on a plate. Okay, this is my paint palette. What I do is I have a separate plate, and I'll make my mixes on the separate plate. Let me grab my brushes, and I'm going to show you what they look like up close. I'm going to try to describe them to you. For those of you that have brushes, as long as you've got something similar, you're going to be okay. All right, first brush that I'm going to show you guys. And again, my brushes are sitting in water, so when I pull them out of my water cup, I need to have a paper towel ready. Okay, so I've got this this is what you call a flat brush. Flat refers to the type, okay, type of shape. And these flat brushes do a particular, they produce particular types of brush strokes. This is a 3/4 inch, refers to the thickness, flat brush. As long as you've got something similar, you're okay. All right, my next brush is this one. This one here is, I lost my number on this, and I don't remember the number because I hardly ever refer to the numbers, but it's another flat brush. And it's about a 1/2 inch wide, okay, about a 1/2 inch wide flat brush, 1/2 inch in thickness. Then let's see, what else do I got over here? I got another one, number 6 flat. Okay, this is a number 6. This is maybe about a 1/4 inch in width. As long as you guys have something similar, you're okay. So don't stress out if your brushes, you don't have as many brushes, or they're not exactly like mine. This is a number 2 flat brush, little skinny small thing for detail work. And then lastly, I got a little, what you call a round brush. This is a 0. It's got a really skinny point, and that helps you work skinny lines, fine lines, etc. Okay? As long as you guys have something like that, you're okay. Mine are all synthetic bristle brushes. I like synthetic bristle brushes. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab my water cup, try to keep it over here somewhere, hoping I don't knock it over. A while back, a few months ago, I dropped my water and all over my laptop. So I got to be really careful. I had to buy a new laptop. That was no fun. So give me a sec. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a bunch of this light blue paint and just scoop it up. Now, whatever color you want for your background is perfectly fine. Okay? You can have a yellow background. You can have a green background. Whatever you want, it's all good. I'm just going to scoop up a bunch of my white. I bring it over. Now, once again, just like what we did with the drawing part of it, whenever in between steps, I give you a little time to implement the step that I show you. Then in between steps, I take a look at those comments. I say hello to you guys, etc., etc. Okay, so there's my mix. Okay, I want to make sure I mix enough so I can cover my entire background so I don't have to mix some more. When you're mixing paint, it's important that you mix enough. If you want everything, whatever you're going to be painting with that paint to be all one color, you want to mix enough of it so that you can cover everything. Otherwise, you might run out of paint partway through, and then you have to mix some more. And sometimes matching the original mix can be tough, because even a little bit of difference in shading will be pretty apparent. Okay, so now there's my mix, there's my color for my background. Again, everyone can have a different color background. It's up to you guys. I'm going to take my brush. I'm actually no. I'm going to take this big brush and I'm going to do this. All the big areas. I'll be switching over to a smaller brush in a little bit when I want to get close to the sloth and around my leaves and stuff. But I'll come in close. And watch, I'm brushing this. I'm using this brush and I'm going in different directions. Right, left, up, down. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush. I spread the little paint that's on there. Again, I'm using this bigger brush to cover the area of my canvas much more quickly. But when I get close to my leaves and when I get close to my sloth, when I want it to do the background nice and tight around my edges, I'm going to switch over to a smaller brush. So be careful that you don't, while you're using your big brush, if that's what you're using, that you don't accidentally paint over your sloth and your leaves. It's okay if you do, you can fix that, but just to avoid having the hassle, that's what you guys want to do. Okay? So we're just going to go through here. Don't forget, folks, I'm on YouTube now, and next Tuesday I'm going to be doing my first broadcast, my first event, live event, where I broadcast to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Next Tuesday we're doing our Among Us drawing and painting event. If you guys are Among Us fans, you guys want to go check out that event. If you guys haven't yet, it's you guys go on my Facebook page, Painting with Jesse, right? You're on Facebook. You go to the top. There's a tab that says events. You click on that, and you'll find next week's Among Us event. Again, it's going to be the first live event where I do Facebook and YouTube. Now, when this is all done today, about 10-15 minutes later, I'm going to go over to YouTube so I can maybe say hello to some of you guys. For those of you that want to join me, I'm just going to go practice a little bit on YouTube so I get familiar with it. Who knows, maybe I'll broadcast to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But for sure, I'm going to be going to YouTube. Again, about 10-15 minutes after I'm done with today's session, I'm going to head on over to my Painting with Jesse YouTube page. And if some of you guys want to come join me to say hello, I'm going to go live there. Just to test. Not going to be drawing or painting anything, just saying hello to some of you guys. Alright, so here's what I'm doing now. Switched over to my small brush, a smaller one of my brushes. Okay? So now I grab some of this paint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to work my way around the delicate or small areas. Allows me to get really close to my sloth, to my pencil lines. Okay, I want to be careful. Kind of like when you learned how to use a coloring book. What would they tell you? Stay within the lines. Stay within the lines. Don't go over your lines. It's kind of what we're doing now. And don't worry, folks, if I missed your comment, you guys are asking questions or telling me you have a birthday or you want a shout out, etc. I'll let you know in a little bit. After I'm done with my background, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to finish yours. I'm going to go back under those comments, and you guys will get a chance to let me know if you've got a birthday or you want a shout out, etc. Okay? All the way around like this. Again, all I'm doing right now is being careful that I don't paint my sloth, right, or my leaves. Right here where we did the little hair on top, got to be a little extra careful because those are skinny, pointy lines, or skinny, narrow areas in between those lines. So what I'm doing with this brush, and I can go with a smaller brush if I need to But if I press my brush against the canvas, it makes the edge really skinny. And what I can do now is I'll come in here. I'll just go like that. Get all the way around. My leaves, my branches. Nice and easy. Can't stress out. And that's the other thing. You don't want to be stressing out. You want to relax while you're drawing, painting. Even if you don't feel like you're any good at it at first. As you practice, you will get better and better and better. Main thing is you want to have some fun. Fun is always first when you're doing art. Have fun with it. Okay. There we go. Let me take a little step. Always take a little step back. I gotta take a little step back and make sure I'm not missing any areas of the background. Now, if you guys notice, and I kind of like the way that it looks, my background's a little bit blotchy, meaning it's kind of uneven. I can see some of my brush strokes going in different directions. For this painting, I like it. But if I wanted to, let's say that I wanted to change this, I would go through, and as I'm as I'm painting the rest of the painting, my background is drying. Eventually, it's going to get all dry where I can touch it like this. Okay. What I would do is I'd go over and do another layer of my background. I'd go take some more of my paint, and I would do another layer over the entire background. That second layer, and sometimes even the third layer, some people like to do 3 layers, will make the background really even and smooth. On the first layer of paint, it's almost always difficult to get it really nice and smooth and clean, especially if you're using brush strokes that are going in different directions. Again, just a little tip. I'm not going to do a second layer because I like the way mine looks. But if you wanted to, you could. But you wouldn't do it now. You would finish this layer and then you'd go to the next one, okay? You'd go to the next step and then come back and do another layer over the top. All right, 30 seconds and we move on to the next step. Let's take a look at those comments. You got it. Nancy Carrizales, you're very welcome. My pleasure. Alexandra, love your red solo cup for your water cup. Your paintbrush is having a party. That's right, Alexandra. My brushes are having a party in the solo cup. They gotta have some fun too. They gotta have some fun too. All right, I'm looking over at the comments. Robbie Genevieve Melendez. Do not worry, the recorded session will be available immediately after the live session is over. What's happening, Hannah? Welcome back, Hannah. Thank you for being here once again. But yeah, Robbie Genevieve Melendez, the recorded session will be available immediately afterwards. Okay, as soon as it's all over, I hit the save button. It goes right up to the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page here on Facebook. What's happening, Jessica from Ontario, 9 years old. Welcome to the page. Hope you're enjoying the session today. Let's see, Carissa says, my sloth's name is Cutie. What a cute name. Cute name for cute sloth. Let's see, what's happening, Ollie Zamudio. What's up, what's up? Let's see, who else, guys? I'm looking at the comments right now. You guys got about 10 seconds before I get back. Let's see, Amandeep is done for the day. Okay, sounds good. He's going to be using colored pencils. Fantastic. That's right. You get to use whatever you want. It is your painting. Let's see. Your sloth's name is Lil Ollie. That's a good name. I like it. Lil Ollie. All right, folks, here we go. Let's move along. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a little bit of green and I'm going to paint my leaves and my long branch. Okay, so for this step, I'm going to go and use a different brush. I could use the big brush that I used at the beginning to make my first mix, but I'm going to use one of my smaller brushes. Okay, this is my 1/2-inch thick flat brush. I'm just gonna, and I could use this green just like this if I want. Maybe I want my, if you look at the difference between my original green and this green, that one's a lot lighter. I could, if I want, come in and use this one, but let's lighten it up a little. So bringing it over from my main palette here, I bring it over to my, what I call my mix plate. This is where I mix my colors. And then I can take some white. I might have to get some more white. Just grabbing some of this white that's still left on the plate. Let's see what kind of color we can get here. I mix the two together. I just want a lighter color. My choice. No right or wrong here. You can make yours darker or brighter. It's all up to you. Maybe your branches are brown. Who knows? But all right. I think I like that color. Now, again, I want to be careful with my edges, right? So I can do this. I'll try to avoid going over my line, so I go slowly when I'm right up to the edges. Now I've been painting for quite a while, so I'm kind of used to this. For some of you that are newer, maybe if you're having a little hard time staying within your lines, switch over to a smaller brush. Smaller brush is going to help you a little bit better, okay? But all right, there we go. Around my sloth's head, all the way around, curves around, curves around, curves around, goes down here like this. But all right, parents, adults that are hanging out, for those of you that are interested in helping support the page, I do have a virtual tip jar. I have a Venmo, I've got PayPal, and I have a Zelle. Okay, if you guys are interested in helping support, it is fantastic and greatly appreciated. I have the information for the virtual tip jar. It's also in the description of this video. It's also on my link tree. If you click on my link in the description, it'll take you to that same web page where you'll see different ways where you can tip. Again, if you'd like to help support the page, if you're able to, it helps. It really helps, you know, keep things flowing over here. It allows me to continue doing these, so it would be greatly appreciated. But my virtual tip jar, if any of you guys want to, here's the information. The information's right here as well. Okay, whoops, I'm not sure if that's all in view. I've got Venmo, like I said, at Painting with Jesse, Jesse Mendeville, PayPal, paypal.me/Painting with Jesse, all one word. There's also a link for this in the description of this video. And then Zelle is just my number. It's my direct 951-217-2237. When you go to if you go to Venmo or PayPal, you'll see a picture of me under the account. Okay, you won't. It'll be me holding a canvas, or I think one of them is me giving instructions to somebody with a canvas, something like that. Again, if you can, okay, like I said, it is greatly appreciated. Helps keep things running smoothly around here. All right, now I am going to switch brushes. Okay, I'm going to go to a slightly smaller brush than what I was just using. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? All right, I'm going to use my number 2 flat brush, little small guy here. What I'm going to do with that, just scoop up a bunch of this green paint, and I'm going to do my leaves. Now I'm going to outline my leaves later in a dark green like on the original. Okay, right. All I'm doing is, whoops, I just realized I was blocking that. You guys probably couldn't see what I did there. So I'm just painting the inside of my leaves. The outline comes later. Lots of fun stuff coming on my pages over 2021. A lot more kids classes. I do a lot of adult classes on here as well, or I should say sessions that are a lot more complex than this. So for those of you that are interested, I teach you how to draw, I teach you how to paint. All ages are welcome all the time. I haven't done anything where I've said this is only for kids or only for adults, but the complexity on some of the ones that I do can be difficult for young kids, right? For really young kids. So, but anyhow, my point is that I do have a bunch of sessions for all ages and different levels of skill. And even if you're brand new to, even if you've never painted before, never drawn before, you'll learn as you paint with me. Simply decide and go for it. Don't be scared. Some people want to, you know, they're afraid to start, but that's how you do it. You just start. You just go for it. Anyhow, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys like the page, follow the page, so you guys can stay on top of all of the stuff that's coming through 2021. Okay, so just going through and outlining all my leaves before we start painting molasses. Okay, and watch what I'm doing with my hand. Because I'm painting on an easel, I can put my non-painting hand here to the side. I come on over with my painting hand, I rest it right on top. That stabilizes my hand, and I just... Now when I'm painting my leaves, I'm following the curve of the leaf. I'm following the shape of the leaf. So I'm not painting across like this, although I could. In this case, I'm going like this. Makes my leaves smoother if I do this. Okay. Grab some paint. There we go. Nice and long and smooth brush strokes. All right. Okay. 1 minute. And then we start painting our sloth body. Okay? 1 minute. Let's take a look at those comments. Of course, Ollie, absolutely, you can go and sponsor my YouTube if you'd like. Hi, Madison. Let's see. Your sloth's name is Snorlax. Ooh, I like that. Because I made mine sleeping. Fantastic, Madison. I love that name. Snorlax. I think it's a perfect name for a sloth. Ah, I see a sloth by the name of Cookie. That's a good name too. Natalia says my sloth's name is Friend. Ah, cute. There's a sloth named Blue. Hi, Amy. How's it going? I like it, guys. Really cute names. Here we go. Okay. So let's talk about coloring in the inside of our sloth. So I've got a brown here. I painted the inside of the face. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the inside of the face can be a light pink, it can be a light gray, it can be a light brown. Doesn't really matter too much. Okay, don't stress about the color in here. Whatever you've got, again, or decide maybe you want to change yours. It could even be like a really light peach, right? You take a little bit of orange, mix it with some white, really, really light colors in there. This part of it is darker. Okay, it could be brown, it could even be black or dark gray. Okay, this is all kind of a light tan or brownish color, but it can even be like a slight green or gray. All up to you guys. Let me grab a little bit of white. I ran out of white on my plate, so let's pour some more out. There we go. Okay. Let's see, what brush am I going to use? I'm going to use my big brush, the big 3/4 inch brush that I started with. So I'm just cleaning it up. Again, in between steps, and I don't know that I mentioned this again, but in between steps, every time I use a brush, it goes right back into my cup. Okay? Just want to make sure that my brushes don't dry out. The paint doesn't dry out in between steps. Very important. So right here, right in the cup, is where my brushes sit. When I'm all done, I'll take these, wash them with a little bit of soap and water, and then I put them facing up like this in a cup to dry, or I can put them on their side. What you don't want to do is you don't want to store them flat like this. Okay, you can use them you can have them like this for a little while, but if you keep them like this all the time, the bristles will bend. Okay, so be careful with that. All right, cleaned up my brush a little bit. Now I take a paper towel and wipe the extra off. So I've got some white right here. Where's my mix plate? Well, it's right over here where I left it. You can take some white and bring that white over. When I mix my brown with it, I only need to mix a little bit of brown at a time. The darker the color, usually the more overpowering it is to any light color. So you want to be kind of sparing with it. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of brown at a time. I take my brush, dip it into my paint, bring it over. Now I can already tell this brown that I'm using right now is going to be a little different than on my original. And I could change it by adding a little bit of yellow if I want, adding a little bit of black if I want, but I'm okay with this color. This sloth is going to look a little different. And who knows, maybe I'm going to give this new sloth a different name. That's Molasses over there. Maybe Molasses has a brother or a sister. We'll see. I'll decide later. But it's decided. I'm going to change. This is a different sloth. Maybe it's his friend. Okay? But all right, there's my mix. Again, folks, yours. The idea isn't to try to make the exact version over here. All up to you. But I'm going to go like this, paint the inside all the way around my edge, come around, and careful that I don't go around my edges, right in here. Even though this is going to be the same colors on the outside, I'm still kind of avoiding going over my pencil lines because I want to use my brush here to create shape. I'll be switching brushes here in a moment. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my brush and brushing long ways like this till I get back to the body. Here my brush strokes become curved. Okay? I'm curving my brush strokes, especially here at the top. Curved. I'm giving my sloth shape with my brush. Down in here the belly, now I'm switching. I was brushing with the broad, thick side of my brush like this. I'm going to switch to the narrow part. I'm going to go like this. Okay? This helps give the sloth shape. Okay, back in here. Okay, kind of like that. Now I'm going to take my big brush, back in the water cup it goes. Boom, just like that. Switching over to a smaller brush. Let's see here. Cleaning it up a little bit. This guy right here. Okay. My little half-inch, actually number 6, yeah, a little half-inch or quarter. Actually, this is about a quarter-inch. It's number 6, or like half-inch, somewhere in between there. It's number 6. Okay, as long as you got something similar, is all that really matters. Okay, so scoop up some paint, and here we go. Let's see here. Go right in here. Okay, right over here. Back up. Nothing to it, folks. Relax and have some fun. Okay, let's not forget this one over here. Alright. Then, we're going to do the head. This color's just around the outside, right? The edge. Whoops, forgot this in here. Got to be careful where it gets skinnier around the bottom of the chin. It's really small, really narrow. And if I've got some adults that are hanging out, maybe you're not painting, but you want to learn how to draw and paint, these kids sessions are really good for it, because I do teach you drawing and I teach you some of the basics of painting. So if you guys are interested, don't be shy, jump on in. These are actually, even though they're kid-centric, they're meant for everyone. Whoever wants to join in is absolutely welcome. Okay. So I'm going to switch brushes now. I'm going to go to an even smaller one. I'm actually going to use, first time I'm using my little round number 0. This little skinny thing. It's almost like a pen. I'm going to come over here and grab some paint. Now with these little round brushes, you obviously want to do small areas. But you can make it smaller by spinning it. When you pick up paint, you spin it and you pull back. Yeah, I'm just doing this. The point gets really small. All I'm going to do with this is come in and touch up areas like here where the hair is. First popping up over the top. Almost looks like my sloth has a little bit of a mohawk going on. Almost. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here, just going to clean up a little bit with this brush. Now I'm going to be outlining right the edges like on the original here. So all of this that I'm doing right now, where I'm coming in really close to my pencil lines, this is just to help clean things up. The outline's really what's going to clean things up even more and make my sloth stand out. All right, let's clean up some stuff over here too. Just using this little skinny brush to come in tight around my edges, like right here. Okay. All right, work on that for about a minute. And again, folks, if you're falling behind, do not stress about it. This video is being recorded, and it will be available immediately after the live session is over. Okay? All right, you guys got about a minute, and we're moving on. Let's go back to those comments. Hi, Nikki, you got it. All right, let's see. Somebody commenting on Carrie Richards, from Carrie Richards' account, says, we named our sloths Chelsea and Sia. Ah, those are cute. Very cute. And then, let's see, Melissa Moore, somebody from Melissa Moore's account says, name him Syrup. That's a cute one too. Those are really cool. Let's see, who else? Tracy Brujic says, happy 8th birthday this Friday to Anna in Ontario. Stuck in lockdown here. Thanks for doing this. You got it. My pleasure, Tracy. Happy early birthday to Anna in Ontario. Everyone saying happy birthday to Anna, who's going to be 8. Awesome. Amy Winklin, you're very welcome. I like this name coming up. These names for sloths. Churro, sugarcane, and cinnamon. Those are all cute. But I think churro is especially fun. Truck Patel says his name is Scruffy. Fantastic. Sue Cripe, Jesse, after my boy. Ah, that's an awesome name, Sue. Love it. You got it, Edward DeSanti. My pleasure. All right, here we go. Back down to the bottom comments. Happy 8th birthday to Annie, guys. All right. And then, let's see. What else we got? Let's continue with our little sloth over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint in the inside, right in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lighter version of the color that we just used. Okay, again, you can make yours peach, pink. All will work out. Okay, there's nothing wrong with whatever color you decide to use. Your sloth could be pink. Your sloth could be blue. Okay, it's your sloth. So just have fun with it. Just taking a little bit of white, bringing it over to my mix plate. Now I'm going to take some of this color that I used for the fur. That's all I'm going to do. Just mix this up nice and light. Using one of my small brushes, I'm using my number 2 flat brush. And again, all I'm really concerned about is this color here is lighter than the body by quite a bit. This color in here is also going to be darker, and I'm probably going to do this a dark gray. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, of course, is I take this light color and I work my way inside. When I get to my little areas, got to be careful, right? Use the skinny part of your brush to go around those little small sections of your painting. If you have a really small brush, like one of the round ones that I showed you earlier, you might want to use that instead. But use your best judgment. The smaller the area, the smaller the brush you need. Just going around. So right now it's a little past an hour. We actually started a little after 2 o'clock with the actual painting session, right? The drawing and the painting. So we've been painting about an hour. We're probably going to go About another 10-15 minutes or so, okay? Approximately. Just giving you guys a heads up to about how much time we got left. We're almost done. Just a few little steps. All right, so again, all the way around my mouth, my nose, outlining everything. Once I've outlined everything and filled it all in, I can just go in there and start smoothing things out a little bit. And around the face, I'm just kind of following the curve. Like up in here, I follow the curve of the shape that I'm painting in. So this is a curved shape, curves down like this. And I'm just smoothing things out a little bit. So that was fairly easy and quick. So you guys got about 30 seconds there. I'm going to clean my brush up a little. Actually, I don't even need to clean it, because what I'm about to do is I'm going to take some of that same gray that I mixed for the body. We're going to bring it over. Actually, look at that. I like that color. I was about to add a little bit of black to it, but I like this. Pretty dark brown. Just going to use this. I got to be careful in here because this gets really skinny around there. I'm going to switch to my round brush in a moment. Look how I'm holding my brush. Okay, I could hold it back here. Again, I've got a lot of practice, so my hand's pretty stable, but if you need to, you can bring your fingers closer to the actual bristles, and then you, as long as everything else is dry on your canvas, you put your hand down like this. And now you can kind of do this. It helps you stabilize your hand a little. Whatever you're comfortable with. And then don't forget, practice. Practice makes perfect. So I'm going to leave this alone for now. In a moment when I switch brushes, I'll come in and do the small skinny parts. Before I switch brushes, I'm just going to come over and do the other eye. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to name my new sloth. You guys took a bunch of the good names, and that's okay. We'll think of something here. All right, now I'm switching over to my little round brush, and I'm going to complete the edge all the way around the first eye. Now watch, put my pinky right down in here. Come around. I know I'm blocking what I'm doing, so let me move my hand over. It's a little tricky for me because I'm painting over from the side instead of painting right in front of the canvas like I usually do. But I've gotten used to it over the months that I've been doing these, so it's not so hard. The beginning was pretty tricky. I often still, as I'm doing my drawing lessons, will draw things slightly out of proportion because I'm standing over to the left. My view, the proportion, the dimensions look a little different. So sometimes I notice that my drawings, when I teach you guys, they're slightly off. You usually can't tell by too much, but it happens. I got to remember to adjust for that when I start. But all right, there we go. Cool. My nose is going to be black. My eyes are going to be black with a little tiny white dot, like those. My outline of my mouth is going to be black, and then I'm going to outline the face in black. So that's what we're going to do now. Take a little bit of black with my skinny brush, my tiny number 0. And like I mentioned, when I put my brush into the paint, I push the brush down into the plate and I spin it as I pull away. That makes the point small. Excuse me. Here we go. one eye. And again, look at my hand, right on my canvas. I can only do this because this is dry now. If this was wet, obviously I wouldn't be able to do that. If this was still wet, I would take my hand, place it here, my painting hand right over the top of my wrist. Now I've got a stable platform with which to work with, okay? All kinds of tricks that help you improve on your drawing and painting. All right, let's do the nose now. Okay. Now I gotta make sure, because I'm gonna do the outline for the mouth, I gotta make sure my point is nice and skinny. Sometimes I'll take my brush here, dip it back into my water cup, and I bring some drops of water over, like 2 or 3 depending on how much paint we have on our plate. And what I'll do is this, I'll mix that water right into that paint. Because acrylic paint is water soluble, it blends in really nicely, and it allows the paint to flow much more easily. Now it's more like ink, and I can come in here and make really skinny lines. Okay. Sometimes it helps if you hold your breath a little bit as you're going across, like I just did. When I'm doing narrow, skinny lines, I often find myself holding my breath, so I don't, accidentally move my hand as my body moves as I breathe in. All right. Once we do the mouth, and after this step, I'm going to take a minute or so to give you guys a little time to catch up. Just going to outline the face, just the face part. So all this in here. And then again, if some of you are behind, don't worry about it. Do your best to keep up. But if you, once our session's done, I hit the save button. Whoops, I put some black paint up here by accident. Let's wipe that off. I hit the save button, and the recorded session of this video will go live under the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page here on Facebook. Okay, I accidentally put some black over here, so I'm going to take a paper towel and just going to dip it into my water cup. We don't want this soaking. Now what I'll do is I'll just simply come over and do this. I just kind of wipe it off, and most of that's gone. You can also use this to make little corrections, like in here. I had this line was a little on the thicker side, and I just cleaned it up. Nothing to it, folks. Practice, 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 and you will only get better. Okay, well, I've got my black paint. Oh, I told you guys I was going to give you guys a little bit to catch up there. So you guys got about a minute and a half. We're going to do the nails in black. We're going to color in the nails in black. We're going to continue with a brown outline around our sloth, and then we're going to outline our leaves. We have a couple little white dots to add to the eyes, a little reflection in the eyes, and we are done. Okay, so let's take a look at those comments. That's right, Penny. Holding your breath. That's a tactic. Sugar Cookie. That's another good sloth name. Bamboo. Somebody suggested I should name my sloth Little Jessie. I might do that. I like it. So I'm looking at the comment section, folks. Sport. That's a good sloth name also. Margot, ooh, Margot. Chrissy, Robertson, Mitzi. If you're still on here, you may have missed the live, but the recorded session will be available immediately afterwards, okay? So stick around. I'll talk about that at the end. All right. Hi, Tegan. I like your sloth's name. Gina's a good name. I like it. Molly. Ooh. Molly and Molasses. Brother and sister. Molly and Molasses. I kind of like that. Johnny the Sloth. I like that too. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Let's get back to it. So, I'm still working with my little brush. I'm going to make some nails or claws, right? Or sloth's little claws. Just using my little brush. I'm going to start over here in the front, work my way back this way. That's another technique right there. Let's say I started over here and as I start to work my way over this way, if there was a lot to paint in here, a lot to draw in here, I might get in the way of my painting, right? It might smear stuff by accident because I keep having to move from this side to this side as I'm going over like this. So I'll start from this side and work my way towards me, back toward me, okay? Another little tip. Here we go. One claw. And they could be long, they could be short. Up to you. 2 claws. And maybe I'm going to make one right there. 3 claws. Okay. Nice long, and then they curve back. Kind of narrow though. A little pointy. 1. 2. If you guys ever look at sloth's claws, they're kind of curved. Scary looking, but they move really slowly, right? So, I don't know. I don't think they're very dangerous. They seem like really nice animals. But all right. But I don't know much about sloths. I've just seen a few videos and stuff. All I know is that they look like they move pretty slowly. All right. There's 3. Once we do that, we can outline the body, our sloth's body, all the way around. So give me 1 second. I need to load up on some more paint here. Oops, a little too much, It's all right. Don't forget, guys, when this video's over, about 10-15 minutes later after, it just depends. I just have to get set up. I'm going to go over to YouTube just to say hi, to practice a live session over there. Just saying hello. If you guys have a chance, come on over and say hi. I'll be on, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. It depends on how many people show up. But just want to practice a little bit over there so I get to understand the platform a little bit better. Okay, water. I added some water in here just like I did earlier to that mixture. Okay, so all the way around my sloth, and I'm going to start over here around this side of the head. Hands up against the canvas, using it for support. Over here, my little fur that's sticking up over the top. Let's outline that. Comes down and back around our little head. Then down in here. Actually, I want to do this one first. Okay. This one here, the line starts up here, inside the body. Comes down, curves around. Okay. So I'm going to continue up here. Grabbing some more water, bringing it over. Remember, spin the brush. Make that point nice and skinny. Come over to the top. Okay, before I continue over here, I'm going to come over here. Again, I don't want to get in my way. So if I do all this in here, when I'm over here like this, I have to be careful that I don't put my hand on here. So instead of coming and doing this one first, again, because I'm painting over from this side, I'm going to do this first. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and do this one. Now this one. Okay, so this line starts up here somewhere. Okay, and then here we go. There we are. All right. All right. And you know what I'm going to name Molasses' sister is Maggie. So Maggie, that's what we're going to call this one, Maggie. All right. This brush right here, I'm going to use it some more. Just going to clean it up a little bit. Don't need to clean it up too much. The colors that the green that I'm about to use to outline my leaves blends in well with the brown that's on the brush already. So I'm just going to take, I'm going to take and add a little bit of water to this mixture, to this green. A couple drops, mix it in really nicely. Again, especially when you're making really small lines. That extra water in your acrylic paint helps that paint to flow, and it's easier to make small, skinny lines with. Okay? Spinning my brush here. Now we're also going to add the stems. So I'll start with the stem, like this one here. Stem goes back. Okay, it's something like that. And then kind of outline that. And then in here, something like that. And obviously this is darker green than what I've got there. I'm okay with it. Again, the colors aren't super important. If the colors were really important, if it was really important that you guys pick the same colors, exact same colors that I had in the description of my video before you know, of my event, when I post them up, I tell you guys, hey, make sure you use this particular green or that particular green. But for stuff like this, it is not that critical. All right, over here. So right here we have two stems. Goes like that. One goes like that, and the other one connects to that stem. And again, don't worry about it if yours looks a little different. Part of the point to all of this is that everybody makes their own creation, their own unique painting. I'm just here to guide you guys a little bit. I'm going to come up here. This one has a stem that goes up past the edge. I'm going to continue up here. We're going to go with this one down here. Stem goes off the edge of my canvas, bottom. Right up here. Little stem comes out for this little leaf right here. And don't forget, folks, we're almost finishing here. We're almost done. Don't forget to send me pictures of your masterpieces. I love to see those. It makes my day when you guys send me pictures. So, on my messenger here on Facebook, take a picture of your masterpiece Maybe you're holding it. Maybe if you're painting in a group, you take a group shot of all you holding your paintings, and then send me a picture to Painting with Jesse here on through Messenger. Again, if you are underage, please check with an adult, your parents, before you send me anything. Okay, that's a rule. You gotta make a deal on that. You can't send me anything unless you check with your parents first. All right. Okay. So the very last thing we're gonna do is this. Oh, I know. The fur. We got to do the fur here in a moment. So take a little bit of white. We're going to give Molasses or Maggie has little reflections in her eyes. Little tiny dot right there. As soon as we do that, her eyes come alive. Oh, there are little tiny dots. Look at that. Look how happy she looks now. Okay? So that was that. I jumped the gun a little bit, but that's okay. Just going to clean my brush a little. Now I'm going to go back and add some of this fur. And then we can paint the nails in. Up to you. You don't have to. But I'm going to paint mine with a white or gray. We'll see in a moment. Same color I was using for the fur. To outline, sorry, to do the outline. Just going to come in here, get some water, mix it with that paint. Blend it in really nicely. Swirl my brush. And all these guys are little lines. Come down like this. They overlap a little bit. And I must have picked up some paint with my hand up from the plate. I'll fix it in a moment. There we go. Just little lines around the edges. Because our sloths are pretty furry. But if you don't want to do these, you don't have to. All right. There we are. Take a little white or a little bit of gray, whatever you want. Taking my skinny brush still, my little tiny brush. And I'm just going to add a little paint over my claws. Just a little bit. All right. Look at that. Natasha says our sloth names are Nuggies, Dino, Forest, and Flower. Cute. Rupleka says Sunny the Sloth. Cute, cute, cute. Jackie Kearns, you are very welcome. My pleasure. All right. Ashley Larrabee, you're very welcome. She says, me and my daughter Ava, 9 years old, named ours Cookie and Chip. Very nice names. I like those. Coco's another one. Woohoo! Look at all those cool names. You guys are picking some really nice names. I like it a lot. Donut and Starbucks. Lydia's sloth's name is Cam. Cute, guys, cute. Diana, can you remind me how I can send you a picture of my sloth? Of course. So yes, just send me a picture on Messenger. Okay, here on Painting with Jesse. You'll just go to the Messenger tab. Like if you were sending a message to a friend, right? But you're going to send it to Painting with Jesse. You can go right to my Painting with Jesse page, and at the top it says message. You're going to click on that message and then just attach a picture of your masterpiece there. All right, very last thing. We're gonna sign our masterpieces. Don't forget, you want people to know who made them. So I'm just gonna grab some green for mine. You can sign your name in whatever color you want. So I like to sign my names on the edges here towards the bottom, and you can use your initials, you can use your nickname, your last name. It's all up to you. Actually, over here, Jesse. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. That is it for today. Don't forget, just want to remind you guys a few things. We're not leaving just yet. So just want to remind you guys of some things. One, if you weren't able to do the video right now, or you jumped on late, or you're behind, or whatever the case may be, this video has been recorded, and as soon as I'm done, I hit the save button. The video you can find the video if you go to the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page here on Facebook. At the very top, there's a live tab. You click on that, and you're going to find the video right at the top. Okay? If you wanted the stencil for this and you didn't get it, send me an email to paintingwithjesse@gmail.com. That's Jesse, Jesse, exactly like the name is spelled here on Facebook, paintingwithjesse@gmail.com, and I'll send you a PDF copy of those stencils. You can also find the stencil on the event page in the discussion board. You'll see the stencil pinned to the top. Okay, so that's another way where you can get that. Another way to get that stencil. I want to remind you guys that this coming Thursday, we've got our Giraffing Me Crazy. That's what this painting is called. Giraffing Me Crazy Draw and Paint Along. That's this coming Thursday. Look under the event tab on the main Painting with Jesse page and you'll find that there. I teach you how to draw everything from scratch. This was going to take us quite a bit longer. This is probably going to run us close to about 3 hours. I know it seems like a long time to paint, but trust me, the time flies by pretty quickly. Okay, I do have stencils available for this. Same thing. Go to the event tab on the main Painting with Jesse page. You'll find all the details there, including the stencils. But if you have a hard time loading it, downloading them from there, or you simply want the PDF, send me an email and I'll get those over to you. Then next Tuesday, our first simultaneous broadcast to Facebook and YouTube is it's upside down. Actually, it could work that way too, I guess, but it's upside down. Our Among Us, for those of you Among Us fans out there, I know it's a really super popular video game. But I teach you how to draw this from scratch, but I've also got stencils available the exact same way that I described with the other two paintings. Okay, now there's more. There's more. Now these are out in February already. This painting that's coming up is quite a bit more complex, more adult themed. But this painting right here, this really vibrant beach scene. February 6th, I believe that's a Saturday. Okay, same thing. Go look under the event tab. You'll find all the details there. This is more complex. Again, more of a grown-up theme, but it is open to anyone who wants to join. Okay, there's that one. And then way into February 20-something, I can't remember the date. For those of you that are blue jay lovers out there, or just bird lovers, this one definitely is a lot more complex, but do not be shy, do not be scared. I do provide stencils for the birds, but I will be teaching you how to draw this freehand. The event page, go there, scroll all the way down. This will be the very last event currently scheduled. There's a lot more coming in February, and there's more kids events also, so stay tuned. A lot more that's going to be added in between. This one's out like in 24th of February or something like that, but in between there's plenty more to come. There's Valentine themed paintings as well. So okay, just make sure you guys are paying attention to the notifications. Please do like and follow the page so you get those notifications, and then this information is listed under the description of this video. You guys greatly help me. Those of you that are able to help support the page, I have a tip jar. I have Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle. Okay, at Painting with Jesse, PayPal at paypal.me/Painting with Jesse. Please be careful, especially with PayPal. When you get my account, you'll see my picture holding a canvas, doing something with art, but it's clearly me in the pictures. Okay. Sometimes when people use PayPal, they'll separate Painting with Jesse. They'll separate them, and it only uses painting, and it ends up being somebody else. So just be careful if you guys do decide to support the page with the virtual tip jar. And then, of course, I've got my Zelle, 951-217-2237. Again, this information is listed in the description of this video, so you guys can always go to that. But all right, folks, I really, really appreciate all of you hanging out here. One more thing, besides you guys sending me your pictures, I would like to ask for you to share my page, if you can, to your social media. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. You guys greatly help the page grow when you share the page. You can simply share the Painting with Jesse page right to your Facebook or your Instagram or your YouTube even. When you share your pictures on your social media, if you tag me, it just goes a really long way to helping the page grow, and I just greatly appreciate it. So if you guys could do that for me, that would be fantastic. But all right, everyone, about 10-15 minutes, I'll be on YouTube if you guys want to go over and hang out for a little bit. Again, it's just a test. I want to get used to the platform and all of the practice that I can get before next Tuesday. It'll be very useful for me. But all right, guys, thank you. Again, appreciate it. Hope you guys all had an amazing time with me. I had a great time with you guys, and there's a lot more to come. So stay tuned, stick around, okay? All right, thank you. Bye-bye.